Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're talking about our modifications to the Lego Haunted House Modular. So from top to bottom, this build was a handful and a half, but I think we came out with a really nice look in the end. I'm very pleased with what we were able to achieve, and I still have some work that I want to do in the future, but for the moment, we're gonna leave it in its current configuration. So you can see it absolutely towers over the rest of our city. After we finished the boutique hotel, it was a few studs taller than our custom assembly square, but this thing is dozens and dozens of studs, bricks, whatever measurement system you'd like to use. We can use feet. I would say it's at least 1.5 feet taller than our boutique hotel. This thing is massive. But now the real test of height comes down to the Daily Bugle. So our custom Daily Bugle is 6 stories tall, and our haunted house is still a little short. So if we want to break the record for the tallest building in the city, we're going to need to add a couple more layers here. But if we want to add more layers, it should be pretty easy for us because this section just pops right off. It's modular. And then we have another modular addition here that pops right off. So if we want to add another one of these, I think we have enough parts left over to do that. And if we really want to make it the tallest building in the city, we should be able to. So in our last video, this is kind of where we had left off with the build. We were about in this area. We hadn't finished this top part yet. So we went ahead and wrapped that up. And then we built out this modular section here to add height. And then we built out an entire extra level of this section here. Now what that's able to do is it's able to just beef up this bottom part of the building. Since we did so much work for the tower to increase the height of the tower, we wanted to make sure that we did something for the main building part to give it a little more prominence and a little more height. Just for aesthetics, I think it looks a little bit better. But what ended up happening is because we just kind of repeated the pattern that was here, where it goes the light gray brick into the olive, and then you run that up. We did that same process here, and what you get, unfortunately, with that is you get a really, really thick gray line around this floor. So I think I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna change these bricks out with olive bricks, just so that way the line is a lot thinner and it looks more consistent with the style and design. So that will be a change that we're making. But I can tell you that we just have two giant open rooms. So on the bottom floor down there, can't really get to anything because everything's just kind of packed in there. So I want to make sure that when we did this level, that we had a lot of open space. I'm going to come back at a later date and do a full custom work up in here. I'm not exactly sure what the plan is for this floor, and I may even add another one of these floors just so we have more flexibility. We can maybe do some really cool scenes like a haunted library or like a haunted dining room with like some food that's floating around, you know, some really spooky stuff. I thought about doing like a bedroom for some of the vampire figs that I have, with like some brick-built coffins, something like that. I thought that would be really neat. But we have to do some really cool scenes inside that kind of tell a story about some of these awesome figs that we have. Like we have Dracula here, so definitely gonna either mount him upside down, hanging from the ceiling like he's sleeping, or, you know, something fun with that. We also have Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We have the Spooky Boy, the Mummy Queen. And since there's a lot of Egyptian architecture inside the building, I thought about doing like a really interesting maybe throne room for her. I thought that would be kind of neat. And then we have 4 of the ghosts back there with different faces, happy faces and sad faces. I thought that was really cool that they included those in this set. And we have 4 of them because we did purchase 2 of these sets to make this giant modular. So when we move some of those ghost minifigures out of the way, you can see our Scarecrow minifigure there. He's just hanging out in the cemetery area. We also have the zombie minifigure, and he is kind of coming up out of a grave there with a headstone behind him. I thought that was really neat and really fun. But there is a ton of other spooky style minifigures out there. Maybe even we might go out and get some of the Monster Fighter minifigures so we can really decorate this awesome building. Now there are some more modifications that we're going to be doing to this in the future. Like I do want to go back and I want to tile over this roof like I said in my original video, I believe. That is something that I definitely want to do. I think it'll add a lot of depth and reality, texture and everything to the roof. I think it's going to look really nice. That's definitely something we're going to tackle. And then in one of the comments from yesterday's video, someone suggested I can make this a clock tower instead of a bell tower. So I really like that idea. I have all of the clock tower pieces from the Harry Potter set that came out a few years ago. I'm thinking about incorporating those in to this face area somehow. So maybe instead of having the doors that open, we're able to do a really nice detailed clock. I think that would look really nice. And because this is a church, I did want to add like maybe a black tile crucifix, or not a crucifix, but just a cross to the top here. I think that would look really nice, and you would see it and immediately know, oh, this is a church. So I think I might do something like that. And then the last thing I wanted to do to the outside was this stained glass window. I'd really like to incorporate that in another area of the building. And the last thing that I may want to do, because I'm not 100% of what the layout for our Lego City is going to be. These are currently all the modulars that we have that are built. I still have the Palace Cinema, the Pet Shop, and I think we have the Brick Bank that we're in the process of parting out. So we have 3 more modulars that will be built soon and added to the layout, so we can start figuring out kind of where things are going to go. The final layout won't be done until we're in the new Lego room, and we can really start locking down the position of these buildings. But what's interesting about using this set as a modular is because the detail on the side of the building is relatively nice, you could easily do a half mills plate here, continue your curb around in this direction, and on either side, whichever you prefer, and you can make it a corner building. I really think it would benefit for something like that. Having some space on the side here, I think would really be nice. And you could also carry out this or carry this graveyard area further into the side and down the side of the building. So that may be something that we do in the future, but for right now, we're on to the next project. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for all the views, subscriptions, comments, everything you guys have been doing lately. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you are new. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.